Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I don't think anyone has any doubts that there are mercenaries fighting in Ukraine on both sides. And the numbers of these mercenaries are disputed. First of all, they are denied by both sides and they are disputed. So when one side says, that's 7,000 Wagner mercenaries, Wagner Group mercenaries, that's the Russian military private company, whatever you want to call it. It's called mercenaries, whatever. Now the Russians came with their list. I have an article here talking about the list provided by the Russians of the number of mercenaries and the country of origin and how many came from each country that provided mercenaries who fight on the Ukrainian side. So this is coming from an article from, where is it? What's going on here? I saved it? Yeah. What's going on here? Got lost for a second. This article comes from Strategic Culture Foundation, and it says that according to data released by the Russian Defense Ministry, more than 7,000 foreign mercenaries have arrived in Ukraine since February. And then it's providing here a list. It says where the mercenaries fighting in Ukraine come from. And there's a little map. And let me read you here the numbers and the countries of origin. I will start with Poland. From Poland, there are 1,836 mercenaries. The next one is Canada with 605 mercenaries. Then United States of America with only 544. The next one is Romania with 504. Then United Kingdom 429. Georgia 368, Belarus 208, Croatia 204, Syria 200, France 185, Bosnia and Herzegovina 168, Estonia 164, that's like half of the country, Kosovo 156, Albania 150, Lithuania 131, the same, maybe a quarter of the country, Portugal 105, and Germany 101, and others 1,050. We also have, it says here, the countries of origin of 50 to 100 mercenaries fighting in Ukraine. So then we have Bolivia, they're about between 50 and 100. Colombia, the same way. So I don't see any Japanese from Japan. And you know why? Because you don't have immigrants there. You don't have Ukrainian immigrants probably. And people who had wars. For instance, if I look here at, I would just assume, okay, this is an assumption. Let's say Bosnia and Herzegovina. It's either Ukrainian refugees over there, which I don't know if they are, or simply people who fought in a certain war and they like the Russians a lot. The same is, I think, for Kosovo and Lithuania. Maybe Lithuania, I don't know, but Albania, these are most of them immigrants, I would say. If I look at the United States, people who maybe fought in wars and they have a little bit of, hard time getting over it. And I don't know, some people maybe just go over there to fight for. But if you're a mercenary, you go for money. That's by definition. Remember, this article comes from the Russian side. And it was about maybe 10 days ago, when an article came from the Ukrainians. I can't remember, it was Ukrainska Pravda or the New Voice of Ukraine, one of the two, where they reported that Wagner Group has about 7,000 mercenaries. It's strange that the same number is here, 7 or 8. I think it was 8 though, 8,000 mercenaries from a private, military company, Wagner. I'm pretty sure there are mercenaries of mercenary origin coming from Syria. They are not, for instance, in the Wagner group, and from other areas. On the Russian side, I'm talking. Well, this is it. Mercenaries, if they get caught, no Hague, no nothing. They're not protected by any court. So, and the same way with the other ones. Now, I don't know if they catch someone from the Wagner group, if Wagner group would be considered a mercenary organization or a group, or would be considered just a private contractor, military contractor company. I don't know, but who cares? At this point, they can call whomever, however they want. Eventually, is going to be who has more power, and who's going to be coming out as the victor in this, or victorious from this fight, United States or Russia. And I don't think it's going to be really, victory. I see United States would win, is already winning, because it's draining more or less Russia of resources and people who die over there. So that's always draining of resources for the war, perpetual war. United States has no problem with that. And they will win, United States would win only when Putin and the leaders of Russia, who keep the same direction, will be eliminated one way or another. And then when they're going to be out, they're going to install their Zelenskys in Russia as well. And then Russia will have their own Zelenskys, Zhmyhavs, Reznikovs, and Yermaks, the 4 guys. They will take care of Russia like Trotsky took care of it, and Kaganovich and others, Stalin and Beria, all these Russians. Now, how could Ukraine lose? Ukraine already lost either way, because Ukraine is a destroyed non-sovereign country with other people in charge of its nation and territory at the orders of the United States of America. So they lost anyway. They are the biggest losers here. And how would they lose is not about them, is about how could United States and the weasel so-called allies could lose. That is economic. In the economic realm, they would lose. When the shit will hit the fan in the economic terms, or in the energy terms, and inflation and unemployment will hit the roof, then those possibly will say, okay, we had enough. Hey, America, you had your run. It's kind of late. These guys are organizing too many protests outside. Our ass is on fire. Why don't you just pretend you won and declare victory and negotiate, or tell the weasels in Ukraine, those 4 guys, to go negotiate with Putin? How about that? And those guys will say, shit, okay, we're gonna, hey guys, we won, mission accomplished, we won like always, like we won in Iraq and all those countries, okay? And we're gonna impose some negotiations on Putin, if he's still alive over there, and we're gonna demand a lot of things, but we're the winners here, okay? Just keep that in mind and write the books like that, history books. And the Russians will do the same thing. We won and all that. And then they will talk, and there's gonna be something like Ukraine will be sold out, will be sold by these guys. And why? Because they were just used by these guys to hurt these guys. And if these guys were not able to be kneeled by these guys, then Ukraine will be just pushed aside. And United States will open another front somewhere else. Could be Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Georgia, that area. And if they start that one, they try to weaken the whole Russian state and drain it. But I think if that would happen, maybe Russia will decide to do the right thing and declare general mobilization and just go march westward until they reach Poland or more. I don't know. And that would be it. If they would do that. They have the capability, 100%. The number has the capability. And I think they will employ the, I don't want to say the big guns, but I don't think they're drained of resources. I think they fight at the minimum of their efforts in order to not destabilize their society so they can stay in power. I think that's what the Russians are trying to do. We'll see, right? If they allow us to see. If they don't blow us up in the meantime. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.